Mike Perlak here to entertain you with the help of my dad. He's got some things to get off his shoulder about the things that are going on in this world. Hit it.
I've been noticing things that really shocks me in this generation today. That people do not love themselves. And I was always told all my life, how, if you don't love yourself, how are you expecting to love somebody else? Like I was at Walmart the other day, and this young girl, she was with a black gentleman, and he took his hand, and he called her a B, and he pushed her like that. And I'm looking, and she goes, "What did I do, honey?" And instead of kicking him between the legs, I'm calling, what? I mean, come on, love yourself. I mean, come on. You don't let somebody call you a name and push you like that. That's not normal. I don't know what these parents teach their kids today. But that girl does not love herself.
You might want to speak up a little bit.
That girl does not love herself to take abuse like that. It's disgusting. These parents today, I mean, come on, get real. I could not stand to see people that don't love themselves. You have to love yourself in order to love somebody else.
And of course, the opposite end of that extreme is that there are people that only love themselves, and the hell with other people.
That's
There's
true
extremes
in a way,
on both.
too.
Huh?
That's true in a way too.
That's true in a way too. You said.
Yeah. You know, they got this today. The government has no right to tell you how to raise your family.
Hmm?
They're not your wife. They're not your mother. We vote them in to take care of the economy, not to be your mother and your wife. That's none of their business.
Oh yeah, what you were saying earlier about like Christianity is more in Europe now, and that's true. Unfortunately, as a society, we are reverting back to nationalism. That's going to happen one way or another. Unfortunately, America will be last because America is the one that's been pushing for this globalist BS for the longest. I was seeing watching a thing about how Japan is very strict on their immigration laws. Yeah, you can become a citizen in Japan, but they have rules and laws. America gets the short end of the stick, despite the fact that America is the most generous when it comes to immigration. 1 million people a year. I'd say that's pretty damn generous compared to every other country in the world.
Like I said in my last interview here, in 73 and 4, everything was fine. We had a cost of living of 10 cents, 15 cents, and everything was fine. But the teachers, in my opinion, they only made $1 or $2 more than a factory worker, but they did deserve $1 raise or something like that, and a little more, because they took abuse from the students because the parents didn't raise them right. I was at my friend's house one day, and he swore F you to the mother, and I said, "Aren't you going to put soap in his mouth?" And she says, "Oh no, he'll get over it, it's just a phrase." No, they never got over it. I seen them trash. They worked for the city cutting old people's lawns, and I seen them trash the break room. And all they got was a slap in the hand, and our taxes paid to repair that break room.
Well, you won't get any argument from me. There is a problem of proper discipline when it comes to the youth of today's world.
You know, my aunt put soap in my mouth because I thought that was all right too when I was a little kid. And after she put on me, I tasted that soap. I never swore to an adult or disrespected them ever since then. They need a little disrespect, like well, a little thing, a little slap in the face, a little, you go over there and apologize to that man. But those parents that never did that. I had a neighbor named Mr. Gus. His son died when he was 5 years old. He had 2 daughters too, because he was a bad diabetic, the little boy. So I had to play son for my dad and play son for him. So we went fishing, me and my friend Howard with him. And he got me mad sometimes, but I said it to myself in the head. And we went fishing, and we caught some nice fish, and we had a great day. But I never disrespected the man. Never. Because I learned to respect my elders. And I had detention class one day, and there was a man that looked like Dr. Welby. You know, Father Knows Best, Robert Young, I believe his name was. And he took me out of detention class because I liked him. He was a counselor. I didn't like my lady counselor. Her name was Miss Williams. So I used to see him. And he said, oh, I need Paul to help me carry my briefcase. So he let me smoke in his car, and we went to McDonald's for coffee. And one day the kids were throwing pennies at him. And one hit him in the eye. So we went into McDonald's, and he showed me what the penny did. And thank God it didn't hit his eye, but it dented in below his eyebrow, the skin.
You
so
really are
he
preoccupied with this penny stuff.
Yeah, well, he said they had a PTA meeting, and that time they used to smack the kid in the hand with the ruler and make him sit in the corner. Well, you know what? The mother said, oh, we don't want no teacher or nobody hitting our kids. Well, you know what? They weren't considering his needs, that he could have had a tooth out, his eyeball out, his brain damage. And I told my son the other day that they should have had an officer there, call an officer, and had that kid put in jail for 2 days in a dark room with a book and see how he could read that book. And I bet you he would have learned not to do that no more. You know this, but the teachers started to strike every year. And then monkey see, monkey do, as the saying goes. People were going, well, they're doing it, we're going to do it too. And the greed started coming. And that's why we're in the mess today. It's all of greed.
Not so much high school or junior high school, but grade school. I remember we still had teachers that wouldn't hesitate to whack you in the hand with a ruler if you were acting up or whatever.
You got to learn how to teach your kids the right way, and these parents today don't. And you don't push college on a kid. The kid goes if they want to go.
College is a joke
my
today.
sister Diane went because she wanted to go. Me and my twin sister went because she had no choice. She had to learn the computer for her office job at UPS. So she took some night classes. I just didn't go. I mean, I went later for some music classes and acting classes and broadcasting classes. But I never actually finished.
I have audio tapes to back that up.
But the way we're in the mess today is the government. And some little bits of the people, but mostly the government. They went in the wrong direction. They went in the devil's direction. Money, the root of evil. And that's why we're in the mess today. And I feel that they should apologize to us. They always blame it on us. Was the saying that people make mistakes, we're not perfect. And I think they should have a national apology to us. and we should go back to 73.
And when you say
and
they,
4.
you're talking about the
The
political
government.
the political elitists,
and
political powers that be.
yeah, and we should have an apology, and we should go back to 73 and 4, where everything was fine. It was fine for, I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, because we paid 32 cents a gallon for gas for like 12 years. And that was cool. And then we only had a 10 cent, 12 cent cost of living for like 10 years. I mean, it was cool. It wasn't all that greedy stuff. And I remember the gas staying like 34 cents, and then it went to 39, 40, 42, and then 50, and then 75, and then we had the oil embargo in 79 when it went to $1.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree with you that the political elitists, owe us an apology, but of course, it's not their fault, it's our fault, because we're white, male, and hetero.
And we listen
white,
to them.
male, and heterosexual. They're to blame for all the world's problem.
Yeah, but people listen to them because they were Big Brother, and they're not going to do us.
Oh yeah,
in
the
butt,
government's
and
got a whole bunch of people in their
trusted them.
pockets. Yep.
And they screwed us over.
My second job where I work, there's a in the downtime. I hear some interesting stories. Apparently there's a problem with finding empty wine bottles. I should start this with a joke. What do you call a female drunk? A wino. Apparently there's a big problem with finding empty bottles of wine in the women's restroom. Which is, doesn't necessarily prove, but definitely supports my theory of what feminism really has done to these poor women. So you're done then?
Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for this one. I hope you were entertained and a little moved. Mike Perlak and father. Thank you for your time.